was a typo, and I'm like, welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared. I'm here with Robert. What's up, man?
Not much. Today there's some surprising news we could talk that I know everyone's going to want us to talk about, but
we'll see if we have time to do it. If not, CLD. So
I might make that clear. Let's wait until then. We're not going to be talking about that. That's why I was bringing it up.
Well, what we are going to talk about is it's been a year of the absolute universe. So Britt and I already did our episodes on Superman and Wonder Woman, but I figure let's talk about the entire universe because obviously this is more stuff. And I need to say, this is probably one of the best things DC has ever done in years.
More so than New 52?
I'm not going to go that far. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. If they put Superman and Wonder Woman together, yes. But the point is, let me put it this way. Since Rebirth, this is the best thing DC has ever done.
Right. I will give it that. And I will say Grant Morrison put it best. This is probably one of the best things they've done since the Silver Age, because here, unlike even New 52, which while was drastic, was still playing it safe. This, no safety net.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this...
Can we agree to that? This is New 52 without the safety net.
Yeah, because here's the thing. This is an alternate universe. They could do whatever the hell they want. A Wonder Woman coming from hell, there's no way they'd be able to do this in the main continuity.
Exactly.
But I got to say, so far, I'm going to start with, how do you rank the first 6 absolute books? With me, it's Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman. So Trinity, obviously, first, because those are the best. Green Lantern, Flash, Martian Manhunter. How about you?
I say I'd agree with that, but just swap Flash and Green Lantern.
Okay, yeah. Because so here's the thing. To be clear, I don't hate Martian Manhunter at all. In fact, I very much enjoy it. It's just there were some times when I'm reading it and I'm like, what's going on?
Exactly.
It could be just me.
Let me lead into one thing that is a problem with the entirety of the Absolute line, and that's the decompression.
Well, some of the books, because Wonder Woman, I think...
Wonder Woman is one of the few exceptions, but...
Let me put it this way. The Trinity, I think, moves at a very brisk pace.
Superman, not at first.
Not at first. It kind of sped up now. Batman, absolutely. But Batman's flying.
Oh, yeah. Batman is flying. Yeah, but I'm just saying, but with Superman started off very sluggish at first.
Yeah, I would say so. But so continuing on with this. So the other things I think, and so Martian Manhunter, I probably am just gonna reread now that all of these 6 issues are out, so I can read
the first six,
but at least reread it, see if I catch on to the plot. But so let's start with Batman. Let's
Batman, the big one, the Batman who lives.
Literally the Batman who lives. So let me put with this. Remember when we all hated the design for Absolute Batman?
And it's still wonky. I'll say that. It's still wonky. But we all grew on it. It all grew on us.
Yeah, because it's just so cool. And it's like, I like that they basically adopted the Pattinson idea of his gear is on him, like his axe and the blades that come. And let's be honest, Batman punting a kid will never not be that will never not be I still can't believe there's an image of Batman punting a kid.
I know.
But so we got that. But yeah, and the thing about Batman that I really like is some of the changes, like how the rogues are like his childhood friends.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like, and I love Absolute Catwoman. She has the attitude of regular Catwoman, but still is like a little edgier. I love that.
Yep. Although I still find it interesting that despite not having as much money of the Wayne Foundation money, he's able to come up with tech that normal Bruce would even consider.
Well, yeah, and it's because, again, necessity is the mother of invention.
I was saying that some of that tech is just like, Bruce has had a lot of money, and even he couldn't come up with stuff like this.
Well, I mean, his giant-ass Batmobile is a
yeah.
But here's the thing. I love it because it's so comic booky.
I agree. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that it's still wonky.
Yeah, and that's fine stuff. And
that's where it's kind of almost breaking suspense a little bit when it's like, wait, he's able to do more without money than he could with money.
Now, the other thing that I will say, I also really dig how, well, first off, it's Scott Snyder on Batman. You gotta, like the thing that separates this from regular Batman, because Batman has always gone into sort of the horror element occasionally, never this like deep on horror for mainline Batman. Because, oh my God.
Especially in the Bane arc.
Especially the Bane arc where we see how Bane makes all
but even Mr. Freeze or Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy, Clayface being like people stuck to being basically a rug carpet of people.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Agreed.
So good. And again, it's like I love the issue where Scott does something that I will always give him credit for. He makes you think he's going to do Nightfall, and he does it for an issue, but he makes it where this is what could happen if you fight him inexperienced.
Yep. I love that. Because people thought that's what really happened.
Oh, by the way, Rich Johnson's a dick.
Oh, let me guess. He talked about the news.
Yeah, hang on. I'll show you that. Look at the headline while I speak. But anyway...
Oh
yeah, exactly.
He's playing off of it.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so there's Batman. Then we get to Superman. Now, let me tell you the thing about Superman. I really, really, really like this Superman book because here's the thing about that. With Superman, it's like. With Superman, it's like they took some of the coolest part. They took the Krypton part because Robert, what's been one of the main criticisms that I've always had with mainline Superman?
Clark Kent?
No, it ignores.
I'm kidding.
No, besides Lois, it's the fact that they ignore his Kryptonian heritage. In this one,
he's wearing it.
That's why I kind of like forgive the slower pace and the focus on Krypton because it's a nice counterbalance to the other stuff.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly. And in the chat, you can drop your comments wherever you want. But in terms of like going on to like Superman, so they give him a Tony Stark like AI, but they return him to that champion of the oppressed like character that I always felt was missing for like a really, really, really long time. It's like DC hasn't like brought Superman back to his roots in a while, and this felt like they had done that for like a good portion of it.
I'm back.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the other thing I really like about this is the dust cape. Like that is one of the coolest things out. It allows them to have like angel wings and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yep.
That is the cool. That is one of the coolest things in the world. Like when he's like giving Lois a Band-Aid with the cape.
Yep.
And it's like, and they actually made Laura like a badass instead of just the wife.
They've done that on and off. Lobdell did that before.
New 52, but I'm saying in the main universe, they kind of went away from that.
True.
Since then, but since the New 52, they haven't really done that besides using Laura to prop up Lois.
Okay, let's not get into that.
I know, trust me, there's plenty of time for that. But yeah, and okay, again, the genius of using Ra's al Ghul as the Superman.
Again, it was there, but no one saw it. They're like, nah.
They're like, there's no way, because again, that's the thing about the Absolute Universe. Because it is an alternate universe where anything can happen, you cannot predict what's going to happen here.
Again, and at first we saw it like, nah.
Yeah, even though it's in our face, we're like, there's got to be a cast. There's got to be something.
Yeah, we just thought it was just the name. We just thought it was just the name.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you find out, I'm like, oh my God.
He played us.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that is, and then the Brainiac being like more of a horror villain.
And
That
have it be that he's like I'm trying to say, oh yeah, like he's the bottom of the barrel.
Wait, Brave and the Bold just got announced. No, it was announced years ago.
No, I think he's talking about how there's going to be stuff going on in a couple of months.
A couple of days ago, that was confirmed, but okay. But
yeah,
it's like continue on with like Absolute Superman. It's like, and the fact that as of yet, Clark and Lois aren't together again. It's doing new stuff with the material.
Well, yeah, but it's either playing out differently anyway. And hey, this doesn't mean that they're going to do anything with Diana.
No, but it doesn't mean they won't do anything with it.
It depends on, I think, what both writers want.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I do like how creator run this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but continuing on, let's go to Absolute Wonder Woman, the best Absolute book right now.
Yep, and it's because it's playing it straight.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You could call that playing it safe, but first off,
ignoring the King stuff. I didn't say safe, it's straight.
Yeah. Ignoring the King stuff, because that's not really, that's a reason why this book is so awesome, but it's not the main reason, because here's the thing. It would not have been as popular as it would have been if they had gone with the original idea of making Wonder Woman just a warrior and like Kratos.
Yep.
But it's like, no, Kelly Thompson legit said, I couldn't do that. It's like, no, I'm just going to write her like regular Diane. And I go, that's the genius of the Absolute Universe. Because when you look at it.
Yeah, the only difference is that is where she grew up.
Yeah, and it's like, here's the thing. That's the genius of the Absolute Universe. It's what they did is
it's not evil. They're not evil.
Well, yeah, even though they come from a dark side Earth. Here's the cool part about this. They still act like themselves, or some like more, maybe a slightly more edgy versions, but still, it's still like they still act like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, even though they're in this hell world.
But yeah, basically, it's instead of evil winning, it's more like aggression is dominant.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like technically evil winning, because remember, we have an Absolute Justice League, and we'll talk about that later.
But it's the case where though. But it's not like everyone is. It's not like Crime Syndicate Earth.
And by the way, real quick, speaking of that, here's the thing about this. How awesome is it that Scott Snyder had the thing? It's like, wait, there was an entire Earth that I created that I never did anything with. I'll just plop it there.
Yeah, the Elseworlds.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that's.
You know what? Yeah, to be fair, I think this was always in the back of his head.
Yeah, I'm sure, because Scott has been planning this for. I believe about 5 years and stuff.
Yeah.
This is really back there, but I'm like, yeah. And it's like, that's why I think that this is doing a slightly better than Marvel's Ultimate Universe. And I'm not just talking about
let's be honest. Ultimate Universe was done was nowhere near playing out because originally it was supposed to be Kate's.
Well, I'm not just talking about the new one. I'm talking about the old one as well. Because the old one, the characters are still relatively the exact same, their origins and stuff.
Just like New 52.
Yeah, with this, none of these characters are the same.
No.
And
Diana's by far the closest.
Yeah, and particularly in terms of like characterization and such. So then we get to Absolute Green Lantern. Now, going into this, obviously, as you guys know, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan.
Yep.
And
focusing on Joe Mullion was an interesting choice.
Yeah, but Hal is still a character. It's still a key character.
Oh, yeah, he's Black Lantern.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's really cool. I'm intrigued with that. But it's like the repositioning of the Green Lanterns, of the Lantern Corps in general, how basically it's like a judgment thing.
Especially after the last issue where you have Kilowog as a Dark Star, Tomar Ray as a Red Lantern.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, that again.
And that's Sinestro.
That just continues to show me why this continues to be one of the best things in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because again, you can make all these changes, and it's honoring every part of these characters, and that's why I'm like, because with the Lanterns thing, I'm like, oh, that is well done. And it's like even Simon Baz is a character, and they'll have an Absolute Jessica at one point.
And Guy was like, from what we thought, he got killed off.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They fake you out on that.
I mean, I had a feeling once they took out John, I'm like, no.
Yeah, there's no way they're gonna do that. But still, it's like it's a cool thing.
If it was just Guy, I've been like, okay, I can believe it. Once they killed off John, you're like, something screwy here.
Yeah, exactly. So then we continue on with Absolute Flash. Now, this one's one of my favorite books because the coloring is so freaking good.
It is.
Like, what in the name?
I mean, it's Jeff Lemire. What do you expect?
Yeah, well, yeah.
When has he done anything bad besides Teen Titans Earth 1?
I can't think of one, honestly.
My point exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, but it's so far the Absolute Universe absolutely cooking. Yeah, exactly. It's like, again, because here's what the Absolute Universe is doing. And someone in my comments actually put this up really well. And I'm going to pull up the comments so I can properly credit the individual. But it's like, and they made an excellent point with the Absolute Universe. The thing about the Absolute Universe is, I'm just pulling up it was in the Absolute Superman episode. Let me go to that. It's basically the idea that, like, the Absolute Universe feels like it's basically a redo of the New 52, but
I just realized something.
What
was the name of the world?
The Elseworld.
Think about it. What is the Elseworld usually? Drastically different worlds.
Okay.
So it's perfect.
Yeah, that works really well. I love that. So yeah, Absolute Flash is one where I'm like, first off, they definitely changed, like, so we have Eleanor Thawne instead of Eobard Thawne, which I'm like,
hey, they did that with on Earth 1 with Alexis and all that,
and she's still evil. I love that.
But she's not obviously very different. So far as we can tell, she's not from the future.
Well, yeah. And then it's like Barry Allen being more of like the uncle to Wally, and also Wally West being the main Flash, and also Grodd being like a teammate. That's the other thing this does really well. They change the villains, or change the hero's relationship to the traditional villains.
Yeah, in this case, Grodd is Monkey Grodd.
Yeah, he's a friend of Wally that apparently does not have
a back. He doesn't even talk or anything.
Well, he mentally talks.
Well, I mean, actual,
speech.
You will kneel before Grodd.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think is really good, and the art in that is really good, particularly all the lightning parts.
Oh yeah, the artwork on all these books is really good.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and even the fill-in artists. Like, I love Hayden Sherman's art, but the minute Mateo de Luis, or Ayus, how we pronounce his name, showed up, that was like, what in the name? What?
Yep.
But it's like all of them are good. So then you get to Absolute Martian Manhunter, and this is the one where I'm like, it's the weakest of the set, but it's not like horrible. It's just like, what?
It's a mind trippy.
Yeah, it is. And I do like how it occasionally has those gimmicks where if you hold the comic up to a light.
Oh yeah. I love that. That's an interesting way to do it, and that's why they said, oh, it's not something you can normally do on printing.
Now, let me ask you this,
on digital, I mean.
Try and explain to the audience Martian Manhunter.
Basically, it's, what if John Jones and the John Jones are two separate beings?
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically the best way to summarize it.
So the Martian and the man, if you will, are two different. Yeah, are two different people, which I like.
Yep. Agreed.
And, so we got that so far. And then DC started announcing other Absolute books, such as we're getting Absolute Catwoman, which we all saw coming as soon as Catwoman showed up. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool. I like that. And Catwoman has always had her own DC book, which I have one of the issues in there. But gonna be honest, it should have been Absolute Shazam if we were going to do the split personality. That would have been interesting.
No, yeah, but to be fair, though, it's not something that's been done often.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like Shazam isn't... I mean, I know Shazam is really a high seller, but it's like, I feel like for the Absolute books right now, they want the more guarantees, like the big characters. And
Yeah,
Shazam is not really that big of a character. He's B-list, I would say.
Yeah.
But so then we get Absolute Green Arrow announced, and everyone's like, okay.
And yeah, but then Absolute Evil comes out, and we're like, wait, what?
And according to Scott Snyder, Absolute Green Arrow is going to be absolutely brutal.
I bet. And I have a feeling it's going to be not a prequel. It's going to deal with Roy and the others.
Yeah, it could be like Roy becomes Green Arrow, and then we see like Black Canary show up, and maybe Mia Queen, and there'll be a lot of other cool like versions of the characters. But it's like that's the other thing about this universe that I really like. No one's safe, and then even when you get to Absolute Evil, the Absolute Justice League, it's all of their villains, because of course in a world created by Darkseid Energy, the villains would be the Justice League. Yep,
exactly. And the fact that Veronica Cale is their leader.
Yeah, and how they say that like I love Scott Snyder talking about how Absolute Wonder Woman is the nexus for all of this.
Yep. Also, I gotta say, the fact that Joker doesn't make jokes.
Yeah, it's like, okay, for the most part, yeah, it's the Elite. It's basically that. Mm-hmm. And we also got our tease at Absolute Lex, which, okay, I'm digging that.
But, because Aaron said he wasn't touching it, doesn't mean anyone else couldn't.
Yeah, and then you see like Absolute Hawkman, spoiler alert, kills Absolute Green Arrow.
Especially right before I got, do you think Green Arrow was able to kill off Absolute Epstein?
That's a good question. I love how there's an Absolute Epstein, by the way.
That's the case where that's the case where I don't mind the politics.
Yeah, it's like, all right, that's fine. But yeah, so it's like overall, it's like with the Absolute Universe, it's like it's taking like the Snyder.
We gotta talk about the Free Comic Book Day story.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what I gotta say? I have a feeling this is a nod to Spider-Man when you had the two Mysterios be the connecting point. Here we're having the two Mirror Masters be the connecting.
Yeah, so what does it say that like the first absolute regular DC crossover was with Mirror Master?
Which makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And then they kind of hint at something like that with Absolute Flash in the first couple of issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. And then Cameron says, anyone else notice the Omega symbol in the background of Lex? Yep, I did. At least I think it was like in the clouds. And I go, again, this is showing that it's a world that was created by like Darkseid's energy when he blew up and stuff.
Exactly.
Which, and I'm gonna say the great part about the Absolute, what the Absolute books do better, and I said this to Bray on the Super Wonder episode, infinitely better than the new 52. Yes, some of it could be slow, but they're taking their time setting stuff up because you know the temptation is, okay, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Absolute Trinity, Absolute Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's literally like, okay, we're going to take our time crossing these characters over.
And heck, even though ones that are going to appear in DCKO are clearly set further in their history.
Yeah, so it's not like it's going to necessarily like interfere or like contradict anything that happens there.
Exactly.
Which, again, I really dig that as well. It's like all of this is, it's again, and it was said that like with the All-In Initiative is taking the best of Rebirth and New 52 and marrying them. Yeah, it is. And it looks like they're looking at what did we do wrong with the New 52 and let's fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the key point there that I think is like that is like one of the big like selling points of the universe.
Exactly. And again, I think that's why you needed this. You needed something radically different rather than, okay, because here's how I kind of gave it a little bit of thought when you think about it. Think of it this way. With the Ultimate, and New 52 was basically DC's Ultimate. Let's be honest. It was, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So DC already did their Ultimate. They did it twice. They did that, and they did Earth 1.
Yeah.
Neither really worked.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what did they decide to do? Well, let's try and do it, but radically different. But
Mm-hmm.
as Snyder himself has put it, this is in for the long haul.
And I love how he reaffirmed that when after. Now, I like to think that it's not that it's like
Now,
I like to think that
yeah,
it wasn't intentional. It probably wasn't, but I love how it happened right after Marvel announced that the Absolute Universe was blowing up. I mean, at the Ultimate Universe.
Here's something else, though, to think about. Now, we got to think back with Hickman. We knew he was only on for 2 years, and we just hoped they were going to keep going on. I think this was also Scott saying, yeah, even though some of us are on finite contracts, this ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And he has the support of DC editorial. He said so himself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's like that's the other thing that this has. It's not being as opposed to like the new 52. It's being supported by DC editorial as opposed to undermined, because that's that's one of the reasons why the new 52 had issues, because it was constantly being undermined by other creatives or editorial.
Right.
But I'm like, the minute you show me that you're confident in your creatives, which altogether looks like DC is, which that's good. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing here.
I mean, look at what's going on currently with wait, what's this?
What?
Oh, it was a reposting of the stream. Reposting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I got me confused.
It's all good.
Nobody in DC was on board with the deal as new 50. No.
Not nobody, but it's like as it went on, there were people that wanted to do like stories that were impossible in the framework of the new 52, or creators were nostalgic and wanted to go back.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of different reasons why the new 52 was undermined. It's not all Didio. Here's how I know that. Who was one of the creators behind Rebirth that everyone embraced?
Didio?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that. But I see what you're saying, NJ, to be clear. I see what you're saying. But it's like altogether, it's like with the Absolute, it's like I really feel like it's like for the first year, because if you look at it, the Absolute Universe, old school writers need to go, man. They hold DC back. I agree.
I disagree.
Well, I know that, but it's like with the Absolute Universe, the thing about this is, if you look at the sales, can you imagine if they didn't have the Absolute Universe?
Oh yeah.
Now, here's the thing, and Perch brought up a good point on his video, because someone asked him, which, by the way, what I'm about to say, I knew was not going to happen. But someone asked, with how good the Absolute Universe is, what are the odds that DC replace the main universe with the Absolute? Obviously, they're never going to do that. But one of the things Perch said, in addition to talk about why it's a stupid idea, he said, okay, let's see what happens in year 2, year 3, because inevitably it's going to lose steam.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, let me put it this way: it's not like it's guaranteed it's going to lose steam, but but that's what happens.
Yep.
So it's like
that's why you don't want to. That's why you don't want to do that.
Because how is it going to look if, let's say, they did do it, they replaced it, then all of a sudden everyone's like, actually, we get the new 52. If they go in and do that, a main Wonder Woman's a dead franchise. I agree, NJ. But continuing on, let me put it this way: by the Stephanie Williams issues, Daryl Taylor says, "I like Absolute Evil with the villains knowing about." Yeah, exactly. The other thing that's really funny is in Absolute Evil, it's basically indicated that like the villains like bribe the other heroes into like adopting, and these are the ones that like resisted.
And these were the ones that came about once in a bit, once here and there, but this is the first time they've all been coming in droves.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's too much of that, and it's like the implication is maybe that they were inspired by Wonder Woman being on TV, because remember there was that arc where she said Wonder Woman believes in you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, again, to hear DC say that absolute Wonder Woman, that Wonder Woman in general, is the central guiding light of this initiative. I'm like, yes, finally Wonder Woman is given the respect. I wonder if that's just marketing because it sells really well.
True.
I wonder, but still, but it's like that's the other thing that I really, really, really dig. It's like they're like so you may be wondering, Jared. Okay, so where now, Robert? Where do you think like? What are some like absolute theories you have on like where some of these books could go? Because we know we're also getting absolute Zatanna in the Wonder Woman book.
Oh, I think they're making her very Scarlet Witchy.
Yeah, you saw the character design, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I definitely think they're going with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to share screen, and they had that where she was being held by Veronica Cale. Yeah, there it is. I like it a lot. I think it's really unique because they still have the fishnets, except it's on her arms instead of her legs.
Yeah, I'm curious where this is going.
And the idea that I also love that they're bringing in absolute characters in unconventional books. Again, where it's like with Raish, with this, it's like. Well, but here's the thing: it makes sense because this is a very magic-heavy Wonder Woman. So, yeah. Now, let me ask you this, Robert: what's your favorite absolute book, and what's your least favorite absolute book?
Wonder Woman's my favorite so far. Least,
man.
By comparison, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, and again, if we say least favorite, that doesn't mean they suck. I want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
It's like it could because all the absolute books I genuinely enjoy, if not for the crazy art in Martian Manhunter.
Yep.
But it's like a lot of this, I really feel like it's like. Now the question is, Robert, how much longer do you think Absolute can maintain this momentum?
That's the interesting question because it is starting to. I will say this: it's not as strong as it was when it started.
At least the books other than the Trinity, because the Trinity still sells extremely well.
I think they need to give Green Lantern and Flash a kick in the butt.
Yeah, they need to really get to the point of those issues because it's like you need to know what's the story you're telling already.
Exactly, and that's where some of the problem has been coming from.
Yeah, exactly. Because like a lot of these books, like we said earlier, while they are all good and they're telling the good stories, but it's like you got to tell us more than that.
Exactly.
But it's like, yeah, I feel like if and that's probably one of the reasons why the Absolute Trinity books are the highest selling ones, because those are now the better paced than the other ones.
Right, definitely.
But yeah, but it's like in terms of like where I think all of this is gonna go. I feel like let's give it another year because like if it can make 2 years and still do this well, then I think.
And that's the other thing you gotta realize. Technically, Marvel has reached its 2-year mark when they're wrapping it up.
The problem is they were still popular. It wasn't like it completely collapsed like in the original Ultimate Universe.
Oh, no, I get that. But when you have at least your main part, but that's the big thing. We already know, even here, these people are on a limited contract.
Yeah, it's like Scott said that like he and Dragotta were contracted for 35 issues.
Yeah, exactly. So, but there's always there's always a possibility of extending.
Well, yeah, and I guarantee you, if they want to, and they really want,
they're gonna pull up a truckload of money.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna do that. They're definitely gonna do that. Which I'm like, yes, please, because all of this is fun. And it's like if they don't have any plans to abandon the universe, why not extend it?
Exactly.
I think Scott's book is that. Yeah, go ahead.
The other safe thing is this universe has been ingrained into the main universe. Where that was about the Ultimate Universe. It was, except for the Incursion story,
exactly.
Separate.
Yeah, exactly, because it's part of like an event and like what's going on with the universe. It's not like it's like over there like the Ultimate Universe was.
By the way, I will say one thing I want to say about that recent news going on. I'm at least glad Spokes has gotten a new book already.
Yeah, one with an actual competent writer.
Yep, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Oh yeah. We're about to find out now. It got bumped to January, but we're gonna find out about what Absolute Arkham is soon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's the other thing I do like is the fact that the DC Chaos thing is not interfering per se.
Well, with the story, here's my theory about Absolute Arkham. You know what I think it is?
What?
Arkham is where the Justice League puts all the heroes they can't control or bribe.
Possibly.
Yeah, because it's like that. Because a lot of the Absolute is like flipping on the traditional morality. So I'm like, okay, there you go. Except
hold on, let me see. There was actually a bit here that Scott Snyder said about it. Yeah, we're going to Absolute be announcing soon. So I guess I'm spoiling it. But I have an Arkham special, Absolute Arkham. It's me and Frank Thierry writing it, and it's Josh Hickson of The Deviant, and just an unbelievable artist. And it's straight up horror, but it gives a real surprise about Arkham. A couple of big surprises. If it's straight up horror, that's what's making me question that theory.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
But not a bad theory, but...
Yeah, it's like if it's... Well, it could be that like they're being tortured there, hence the horror.
Remember, Joker was having Arkham built up and everything, and but Batman stopped Black Mask from doing it.
All right. Daryl says, I like the Absolute Batman where the Joker running from behind the scenes and Bane is his enforcer. It's kind of like the Court of Owls.
But with Joker being, again, this is a Joker. Basically, we're getting Joker who's just as evil, but no insanity.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, again, with like Ra's al Ghul and stuff. But as soon as they announced Ra's al Ghul, I knew that the female leader of the Omega Men, I'm like, that's Talia. That's got to be Talia. That has got to be Talia. Which I dig that. But well, let's see. What else can we talk about? In terms of the Absolute Universe, I would say, what other Absolute characters do you think would be cool to see?
Dr. Light.
What? Of course. What would they do with Absolute Cyborg?
No. Oh, Absolute Psycho Pirate.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Combine him with Dr. Psycho.
Ooh, I like that. The only Absolute design that I don't like is Harley.
I think her design is all right. I think we need to see more of it.
Yeah, but it's like that one image. I'm like, no.
By the way, I gotta show you this image I just saw.
Yeah, all right. Let's see it, and then we'll start to wrap up soon. But Absolute Deathstroke. Yes, we need that. All right, so let me see this. It's loading. Oh yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman's as tall as Absolute Batman.
No, but I love what he says.
Go to hell. Imagine if she says, "Yeah, I grew up there."
So look at that. And who has the bigger blade?
Wonder Woman.
Oh,
and also look at Croc. Absolute Killer Croc is terrifying, bro.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're ever gonna show how Bane turned Croc into that.
I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. I don't think I want to know because that's gonna be hard. When you look at like the way that like Bane made the other
yeah.
I'm like, it's case in point. Let's talk about the Penguin. With Penguin, he literally punched him and broke every bone in his body.
He swelled.
Oh my god!
Basically, you realize he took him from, let's be honest, Gotham's Penguin to traditional Penguin.
Yeah, almost to 66 Penguin, slightly.
60.
Oh no! He turned him into Tim Burton's Penguin.
Yeah, but yeah, so he went from Gotham Penguin to that.
God, and then Two-Face, where it was literally like his head was in two places.
And I gotta say, I kept expecting that, well, in a weird way, Riddler's become Oracle.
Yeah, in many ways. Yeah, that is interesting. And by the way, so we did also see that we're going to get Absolute Robin now. What if the first Robin is, I mean, it could be Dick Grayson because we know Dick exists, but he's not like the Robin age. What if it's absolute Tim Drake or Jason as the first Robin?
Maybe.
I would say maybe Jason because he fits the best with the universe's like tone. I would
not
say
Damian, not Damian.
Not Damian. Don't go with Damian again, please.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, Damian's mom is in the Superman book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, can you really do that now?
Right.
But yeah, so we'll see what's happening. But I will say again, this is the most coordinated and in terms of like quality content wise, the best DC has been in a while.
Right.
Like, oh man, I like how the original Green Lanterns like Kilowog and Mogo are evil in the Absolute Universe. Yeah. I'm like, again, it flips the morality. That's where it really gets good with this because you don't know what's happening. What's up?
I just saw an awesome cover. It's not DC, but I got as a.
Yeah, go ahead, share it. I'll see it.
I just sent it to you.
Oh God! Yeah, I'm sharing that. That is great.
And it's Jurgens and Breeding doing it.
Hang on. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Wow, that is a good cover. Wow.
Yeah.
I love the flag. That's so good. Oh my gosh, that's so good. And now Godzilla looks like Doomsday with the like spikes.
Oh, absolute dead shot.
That's an absolute Suicide Squad.
Again, what I love is that either one could be it could go one or the other.
I have an idea for Absolute Suicide Squad. It's like the useless villains, and after every mission, the bomb goes off in all of them.
Yep.
So it's like no matter what, you're not returning home.
Yep. And it looks like by the way that Avengers 800 coming up is McKay's final issue.
Yeah, which is okay because it's like, well, I've liked it. It hasn't really impressed me.
I agree.
New Avengers, however, is freaking awesome. You need to check that.
I got the bad deal with Richie Thunderbolts.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know that book exists because of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. That's one of the good things. It brought back Bucky Barnes and Natasha. Oh, absolute Amanda Waller. That could be fun. That could definitely be fun.
But she's heroic.
She's heroic. She's actually the one good person trying to fight against the shit. Wait. What if absolute power, absolute squared power is she teams up with like the actual heroes that take down the Justice League?
Yep.
Hey, that would be hilarious. But I think that's a good place to leave it. So overall, some pretty dope books. And Scott Snyder, if you're watching, thank you so much for creating a killer universe and practically saving DC. Really appreciate that. But Robert, where can we find you and what have you got coming out on your channel?
Link down below. I might be doing some streaming in a little bit. I might not. But I've been having a good time doing stuff. And yeah, check out Pro Teaches Noobs. Yeah.
Hell yeah. As for me, be sure to check out Athena, the Goddess of Thunder on Kickstarter because I put a lot of work into that. I'll play the trailer in a bit. But and I'll be on Telepathic Bunny at 7 p.m. to discuss Athena if you want more information on that. And here is the link to Athena, the Goddess of Thunder. So far, we have 10 backers. So we're getting those numbers up. So here you go. And in terms of like obviously Comics League Dark tomorrow, and I'll be on John's Long Box tomorrow to talk about Athena. And then in terms of Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I will be comparing, like crossing over Superman and Wonder Woman with Aliens and Predators. I'm really looking forward to that one. And for movie night, Wonder Woman 1984. Why? And for Amazon Answers, I'll be talking about the John Byrne run of Wonder Woman and why it's like one of the underrated and under talked about runs in the character's history. Yeah. And let's see what else. Yeah, that's about all I got. So I'll play the trailer and then I'll play the outro. So anyway, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. And Steve Trevor, Steve Never. He belongs to the bottom of a hydraulic press. Zoe's the Maxibat for life. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Sutragar, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.